I don't want to see the David fight. I think David is a heavyweight, and I think David's legacy is he actually needs to move up. And Usyk would be like the fight that would like give him the type of recognition that he needs. He needs to stop trying to suck down and beat up on smaller men. His legacy is a heavyweight. Crawford, he can do whatever he wants now. If he wanted to retire, he can do that. And if he wanted to just pick easy fights to pad the stats some more, he can do that too. We already know that Charlo's probably wouldn't stand a chance against him. Nobody else who's a big name at 160 or whatever. He don't need to go back down no more. That's a waste of time. And it's also bad on his body too. We saw what happened.
When asked what he thought about Terence Crawford's shocking win over Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez didn't hold back.
Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo.
I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 170.
The WBC light heavyweight champion summed up Crawford's performance in 4 words, which fans quickly realized were the best way to do it. For Benz, Crawford's rise in boxing history was more than just amazing. It showed that the Omaha local had joined the ranks of the all-time greats. Many people were not sure if Crawford would be able to handle going up 3 weight classes when he fought the Mexican ace earlier this month.
Instead, he shocked everyone in the sport by beating Canelo and becoming the undisputed super middleweight king.
The fight took place in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. As the show came to a close, the judges gave Crawford scores of 115 to 113, 116 to 112, and 115 to 113.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's.
Canelo couldn't keep up with Crawford's pace from the start. It was more than just another win. It was an important event in the history of fighting. Crawford made a name for himself by becoming the first male boxer to win uncontested titles in 3 weight classes. The Omaha fighter put on what may have been his best professional show when he was 37 years old. There was no doubt that Benavidez, who is famous for being a world winner who has never lost, thought Crawford was a great player. It had never been done before in boxing history for Crawford to move up in weight classes and beat one of the best boxers of his time. Benavidez said it was the first time in the history of the sport that someone went from 147 pounds at welterweight to 205 pounds at super middleweight and then won all 4 belts. He said, "I want to praise Terence Crawford. Not many people have done as much as he has in the history of the sport. He is one of the best people ever. He not only moved up 3 weight classes, but he also beat one of the best fighters of his time. I don't think anyone has ever won the super middleweight world title after starting at 147 pounds. Not only is he a talented fighter, but that fight showed what a nasty dog he is."
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. Benavidez is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do.
Crawford won, which made him a world winner in 5 different weight classes. The discussion about what he was going to do next started almost immediately. Some people thought he could go back down to middleweight to fight Jambika Lamali, who is the WBO and IBF champion at the same time. There is almost no chance that most of his opponents will be able to win a title in a 6th weight class if he succeeds. Canelo was experiencing a pivotal moment at the same time. After making a 4-fight deal, Riyadh, who is 35 years old, was set to come back in early 2026. But many fans and observers wondered if retirement might be a better choice. He lost his undisputed title to Crawford, which made people wonder if his time at the top was over.
So yeah, you fighting, but you avoiding the monster. You understand me? That's gonna tank the rest of his career if he keep trying to fight. Well, it's tough to say because he's made enough money that he can retire. He really has nothing else to prove. We saw him go up. He did but he tested himself all the way up as far as he could go. He won the light heavyweight title, then he lost to B-Ball. So that shows that the light heavyweight was his ceiling. And that's good enough. Really, right now, he got nothing else to prove. You know, I mean, of course, if you keep fighting, people gonna demand you fight the monster because both of you guys are Mexican. But to me, you probably shouldn't do that. You understand me? It's probably not a good fight for you at this point, for real.
As Crawford enjoyed his record-setting win, more commentators shared their thoughts on the fight. Hall of Famer James Toney was very honest about how he thought Canelo did. He didn't think it was a close game or even a favorable loss. He thought that Canelo had been completely destroyed. It wasn't enough to just beat the Mexican winner. Crawford's sharp and persistent criticism broke him down piece by piece. It was a terrible decision for a fighter who had looked unbeatable at super middleweight before.
In fact, not only did they lose him, he got destroyed basically. Took him apart.
Do you feel like he's gonna want that back? Do you feel like
if he's a true fighter, a true champion, he gonna want it back and train twice as hard and do what it takes to get the job done. Basically, that's what comes down to right there. 100%.
Toney's comments came at a time when rumors started to spread that Canelo and Crawford might fight again. Some people thought Canelo would get even soon, especially since the WBC made him their #1 prospect at 168 pounds again, that if he goes through with it, he'll try to be undefeated for the 3rd time, which few can even imagine. Sergey Kovalev, a past light heavyweight champion, was thinking about Crawford's future while Toney was thinking about Canelo's loss. Since Kovalev had faced Canelo before, he thinks there was only one opponent who could really hurt Crawford. That man was Dmitry Bivol, who earlier this year beat Artur Beterbiev to become the valid light heavyweight king. At first glance, he seemed like the most dangerous opponent Crawford could face. He said, yes, Dimitri's style can be challenging for Crawford, but Crawford showed in his last fight that he can adapt to any weight and any opponent, which makes this fight more captivating to watch.
I want to quickly ask you a couple of questions. Crawford, Spence, I know you watched the fight and you spoke about Crawford. How good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
is that good?
How to learn boxing. You know,
really.
He's a very good fighter. Yeah, I like to watch his fights.
Pound for pound, #1.
Yeah, probably he is now because he is undisputed champion in 2 weight classes. And
it's crazy.
He's a great fighter.
While Kovalev looked at Crawford's possible opponents, a well-known person spoke about something completely different. A past champion and current promoter named Oscar de la Hoya was asked if Crawford could be thought of as better than Floyd Mayweather. The talk started when Canelo said Crawford might have been better than Mayweather, but de la Hoya wasn't sure. His view was that Mayweather was much better. He brought up Mayweather's fight with Canelo and said that Floyd beat the young Mexican badly. De La Hoya said that Mayweather rarely made clean shots that night, and the fact that he dominated showed how good he was at using his skills. But De La Hoya thought Mayweather was much better than Crawford, even though Crawford may have been more active and flexible.
And who would do it? Because Canelo after the fight said that Crawford was way better than Floyd. You know Crawford, you know Canelo, you know Floyd. What do you think? Who would win in a fight?
My man. I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, you know, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
This comparison brought back one of boxing's favorite topics of conversation, the discussion over who is the best of each generation. Mayweather was known for having the best defense and strategy of any boxer. He won titles in 5 different classes and never lost a fight. Crawford, on the other hand, built his success on being able to change and adapt, as well as on being able to dominate in different weight classes. There may never be a clear answer to the question of who was truly better, but it showed how unique Crawford's career had become.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford.
Rumors about Mayweather's personal prospects resurfaced while people were debating the definition of greatness. Mayweather retired from boxing in 2017 after beating Conor McGregor, but he hasn't given up on the sport totally. Another expert, Dan Raphael, said that if Mayweather did come back, it wouldn't be against the best. He thought that Mayweather would fight safer, less dangerous opponents instead, so that he could keep his perfect 50-0 record. Raphael wasn't excited about Mayweather's possible return. He didn't find it fascinating to watch the hero fight in any other matches besides his main matches or novelty matches. He was so boring that he even said rumors about a possible fight with Manny Pacquiao were not true. There were many fans who agreed with him. They thought Mayweather's career should be remembered for what it was, not for returns that weren't necessary.
The difference obviously is that Manny was out of the ring for a lot less time than Floyd Mayweather was. That's significant. I mean, I hope this doesn't lead to some stupid discussion of doing a rematch between Floyd and Manny, because that I have like literally less than zero interest in that.
I remember what you said. I can't remember the word you said, but you said you'd rather set yourself on fire than watch that.
Exactly. I mean, I would say right now it's idle talk, and Floyd like spitballing, seeing what's out there. And this whole thing they announced with this Mike Tyson Floyd Mayweather exhibition bout, the way that was announced was very clear to me that they may have signed to do the fight, but it's contingent on them actually having a platform on which to do it that will pay them money. And I don't think they have a deal yet for anybody to show it. So it's still a matter of if that actually will take place. So I'll believe it when I see it. And frankly, I don't see there being a lot of interest in that. Not because they're not two incredible names and two all-time legends and two great fighters and, have tremendous amount of fans and history in the sport. But we all know what Tyson's got left, and that's absolutely nothing. If they announced Mayweather versus Tyson before we saw Tyson get completely exposed by Jake Paul, I could understand there being interest. But he went in the ring with Jake Paul and had 8 rounds where he couldn't do anything. I know that was technically an official fight, so what makes you think he can do anything against a Floyd Mayweather even 8 years in retirement?
Now we're back in the present. Crawford's fame has grown since he beat Canelo, and he may soon go into even more historic territory. His fight career had become the most intriguing thing in boxing. He had shown that he could handle any situation, whether he was trying to become the best middleweight boxer, considering fighting Bivol at light heavyweight, or even thinking about staying at super middleweight. At the same time, Canelo had to make choices about his reputation. He had been the best boxer for years. Might he consider starting anew at 168 pounds, seeking a rematch with Crawford, or deciding to retire from the sport? When a fighter had already done so much, the decision of whether to keep going was just as important as any fight.
I'd like to see Canelo retire too. I don't think he will though. He's got a multi-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh. That's a lot of money on the table, and he's a proud champion. So I could understand him not wanting to end on that note. But you can see Canelo getting older, and I'm not just talking about ring. I mean, you can see it in his face. For the Netflix special behind the scenes, you kind of see the age, you see the wear and tear. The man has been fighting as a professional since he was 15 years old.
20 years.
He's got over, it's a long time to be getting hit with 8-ounce and 10-ounce gloves. Even if you take it well, and oftentimes the guys that take it well, they show it more. Because I'm absorbing a lot of shots, and you giving me praise for absorbing them shots, but them shots take a toll. I don't know how much longer he should keep fighting. And it's not because he can't fight anymore. He's still one of the best fighters in the world. But you get into the hunger conversation. You get into the total punishment that you got to add that stuff up when you start getting older. Like, okay, man, you know, do I still need to do this? He doesn't need to do it other than just his love for it, because his mantra is no boxing, no life. So I don't know if he's going to be able to walk away right now. His legacy is secure. I think he's one of the greatest Mexican fighters that has ever done it. I think he's in the great category and conversation. We can break down a resume another day, but I think that given the way that he fought and given the way that he bowed out, I think you just got to just leave it right there and give him his respect. I would like to see him maybe take 1 or 2 more and call it a day, go enjoy the fruits of his labor.
From Tony's harsh criticism to Benavidez's full praise, Kovalev was very careful. De La Hoya made a strong connection, and Rafael had doubts about Mayweather. The boxing world had a lot to say about Crawford's performance, which had never been seen before. Each point of view brought out a different piece of the puzzle, painting a picture of a sport in change, with old heroes being questioned and new stars being crowned. Terence Crawford was the one who made everything happen. Someone once said that a boxer didn't have any good opponents. People now think he was one of the best fighters ever. He made his name stronger in history with every class he won and every champion he beat. How far he was willing to go was the only question left.